Hi, good afternoon. It's Dean from maverickstar Observatory. Guys, we've just had from one of our superstars, Kendall in Canada, his second completed test run, and I can say that the magnetometer is running real nice in Canada, hasn't missed a beat, and as you can see we've collected 1,555 packets of data over every 15-minute intervals over the last 18 or so days, so nearly 3 weeks worth of data, and that goes into now its full monthly run mode. Every month Kendall will send us the data over, we'll process it and put it up onto the website. Now we can see it starts off at over 60 microteslas. Remember, the left hand column is just a benchmark, it doesn't really represent 60 microteslas, although it's not very far off, I've got to say that, of the actual field strength. It's probably more along the lines in Canada right now, in the highest region, probably about 55 microtesla. So you know what we're looking at over the 3 or almost thereabouts weeks worth of data is a slight decay, which is good signs. But let's not get ahead of ourselves there. It doesn't mean a lot at the moment, but I'm just saying the fact that it is going negative is what we want to see, because we know that the intensity of Canada with regards to that high intensity magnetic region is diminishing. I'm going to get the video up in a little while so you can see how fast it's diminishing. But you know, we've got it set up now. We're in Canada with another magnetometer. A bit later on, another one of our superstars down in Arizona is going to be popping his data over on an email for me to get that processed. So either today or tomorrow that will go up onto the website. If there's anything alarming about the data, obviously, you know, we'll get that information to you. Things are gradually but slowly, guys, starting to pick up and become a little bit more exciting. And you know what, at the end of the day, I've got to say this, you know, for us to get to where we are right now is nothing short of, you know, a lot of determination. It can only be determination that's got us where we are right now. Not giving up, continuing to push the cart, even though some of the hills are unbearable, you still do it anyhow, and that's the way you get things done in this world, I believe. We are no different. Let's put the cards on the table. We are no different to NASA. You know, NASA build equipment, NASA collect data, the European Space Agency do the same thing, and guess what? It's just people within these organisations that get these things done. It's no different to the maverickstar Observatory. We build equipment, we get it out there, we do it only. The only thing different is what we have to deal with is the micro budget that we've got, and that largely is just down to a few people that, you know, push this cart along with me. You know, I can't emphasize enough, guys, you know, the COVID-19 pandemic, whether it's real or not, is having some real detrimental impacts on everything in life right now, and it is on our observatory and the funding that we raise. So you know, there's a link down there if you want to help support, support us in doing what we do. You know, it's for you guys at the end of the day, but you know, we can't, you know, just a few people that are there keep doing it all on our own. We need a bit of help from everybody else. You know, strength in numbers, guys. It is the only way we move forward. Remember that. Strength in numbers. You know, we can't do these things on our own. If it weren't for good people that were prepared to take their time out, have these magnetometers in the property and send the data back every month, and they really care about, you know, the way they go about collecting the data so that these things are put in a position in their house where they're not getting interfered with, and then, you know, miraculously they send it us every month, we process it and put it up onto the website. You know, we are in Arizona, Canada, we are in Hong Kong, we're in Perth, Australia, and over on the west coast of Australia, east coast of Australia, on the Gold Coast of Australia, should I say, we've got a magnetometer there as well. We have just 2 more hot spots, guys, and we have really put the cherry on the cake. If we can get one of our muon detectors and one of our magnetometers into Brazil, we've swam the channel. Honestly, we've got our own. If we can get, and it's going to be hard, just as hard, I believe, as getting one into Brazil, getting one into Russia is going to be, you know, another big challenge for us. But I don't believe it's impossible. What I'm going to try and do is have a look later on YouTube for some people that have got YouTube channels and they're Russian, and you know, they do similar sorts of things. Maybe we can encourage them to, you know, come on board, take one of our magnetometers, and what we'll see is complete opposite of what we're seeing in Canada. Instead of watching a decline like we are in Canada, which we're going to start seeing, I promise you guys, within a year's worth of data, we will see a decline in the intensity of Canada, because that's how fast it's dropping off, and I'll show you that in a video in a minute. But we will also see, if we get one in Russia, the increase. Not only that, from the UK, we're tracking it with the TriMag, the position of the magnetic North Pole as it migrates towards Russia. Remember the epicenter of where it's going right now, and it's on target. You've seen our little corridor and how nice it's tracking through that corridor, the magnetic North Pole. It is going to go where we say it is. That's slap bang in the epicenter of that high intensity region over Russia. Let's go and have a look at it on the map. So just a little recap of the things that we're interested in looking at. So first of all, over Canada, we're interested in that region here, which is depleting in magnetic intensity. We're interested also in the magnetic North Pole, somewhere over the Arctic Circle right now. We're interested in this region here over Russia, which is getting increasing in field strength. It's also drawing the magnetic North Pole towards the epicenter of this region. We're also interested in, you know, the magnetic pinch, where the North and the South Pole and the intensities are pushing on each other. And we're also equally interested in the South Atlantic anomaly, this region here, and for more than one reason now, because we've also got this little piece here which is breaking off. So there's a lot going on, and we haven't even discussed what's going on as a result of all this happening. The magnetosphere weakening, more cosmic rays coming in, changing the jet stream behaviour, changing the seasons, affecting the crops. You know, did you see the news here in the UK? They put the crops in the ground earlier on in the year. They struggled with floods and droughts. They only managed to get 50% of the crops in, and out of the 50% they did get in, they only managed to get 50% of that crop out the ground as a usable product. Guys, you can't keep business going like this. You know, taking 25% of your, you know, annual crops out the ground, and, you know, at the same time still try and pay for that New Holland combine harvester, which came in at a big chunky price of £1 million. You can't run businesses like this. It is going to put more farms out of business. It is going to slow down the global, you know, production of food. And you know what, it wouldn't be surprised me if there are plans in place, and it wouldn't be surprising if COVID-19 was one of those plans in place to start slowing things down. Because you know what, one of the biggest wasters of food is these pubs and restaurants that we go to. Tons of food gets wasted in these places, and you know, if food is becoming a premium, you know it as a government, and you want to start, you know, controlling the amount of food that gets wasted, then the best way to do that is by people cooking in their own homes, people not going out to restaurants and pubs, and you know, that's one way you'll, you know, slow the demand down for these foods and produces. But you know what, there's a lot going on in our world today, as you can see, with just this rare anomaly that's taking place. Let's have a look at the video so we can see how fast things are changing over Canada. What you're watching is a model of, you know, the magnetic North Pole on the first top left hand disc migrate across the northern hemisphere, and you've got the timestamp down there in years. You can see on the top right hand side over in Antarctica the actual South Pole leaving the Arctic Peninsula, you know, and you can see on the lower center disc the South magnetic pole migrating up towards Australia, where we have on both east and west coast one of our magnetometers to capture that intensity, as you can see, which is creeping up on Australia. You can also see on the large disc at the bottom center the intensity of Canada dropping off quite dramatically, and when the video goes back to the beginning you'll see it jump, and you'll see how much intensity over this period of time has reduced That's why we know we are going to get results from that magnetometer there in Canada. But also note the darkest region on this video that is running right now, and that is the South Atlantic anomaly, which now, according to NASA, is splitting into two. But one thing for sure, it is expanding, and we know that. And you know, time will tell whether it does split into two. And you know that, you know, it is going to prove, you know, to be, you know, an uncharted territory for us. You know, let's see where that goes. We can see it creeping up on the continent of South Africa right now. And what we've got to remember is, and we will prove it when we get our muon detector into Brazil, that is going to be one of the lowest regions on our planet for protection. We know that where our magnetometer is in Perth already, that red region, which is probably in the tones of around 60 microteslas in strength, that region there is already proved to have more protection from muons than what we have in the UK. And you can see, but we're here in the UK at the top centre of that disk. We aren't in the two main fields of where the highest intensity is, and that's why, you know, on average we get about 477 muons per square metre per hour, as opposed to, you know, the 60 odd that Perth is receiving in that high intensity region. Now can you imagine when we get one of our muon detectors out into Brazil? I'm expecting probably readings in the 1,000 per hour per square metre. And the only way we're going to find out, guys, is if we are persistently moving forward with our plans, and we get our equipment out there, we get it out in Russia, and we will do that. So guys, you know, things are happening all around us, and it is largely down to the magnetic pole reversal. You know, okay, there is also that other anomaly, the grand solar minimum, but it's only making matters worse with regards to, you know, more inbound cosmic radiation, in turn, you know, knocking the jet streams about, in turn knocking the cropping seasons about. You know, it leaves farmers with no other opportunity but to become gamblers. And when you start gambling with your inherited lands over you know, hundreds of years, tens of generations being passed down to you, and you're starting to now gamble because you've got no choice with whether you're going to put the crops in now or leave it a little bit, you know, take a risk on putting crops in that you know are going to do really well, and just hope for the best. You know, when you become a gambler, you know, the risks are increased massively, and as a result, you know, we are seeing people take their own lives because they're losing everything. And one thing that is ticking away slowly in the background is the arable cropping land, which is going offline by the day, and it will catch up with all of us. We're already going to start seeing, you know, in the next coming years, massive food price hikes. It's all here. It's all starting to happen, guys. And things are starting to get interested now with the magnetic pole shift. And, you know, I think now is a good time. If ever you've thought about trying to support us, now's the time, guys, to start helping us collect the data. We've done an amazing job to date. The only way we can keep it going is by keeping it supported. It's as simple as that. You know, step up to the line, help us. Okay, guys, it's Sunday. Have an amazing day. You look after your loved ones, and as always, I'll catch up with you again probably tomorrow with the data from Arizona. Till then, as always, bye for now.